Is it possible that Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Nick Sirianni, and Kevin Patullo are just messing with us? What if winning is so mundane and so easy for the Philadelphia Eagles that they're just doing this to keep their lives a little bit interesting? The Birds are 47-14 in the regular season since 2022. They've won a Super Bowl, and they've been to another that, quite honestly, they basically did freaking win. And that's why I have no problem still wearing this hat, quite honestly. Think about the two NFC titles that they've won. Combined score 86-30. Maybe everyone's just bored. I'd like to think that if I was so much better than everyone else, that I would spend a not insignificant amount of time screwing with people. Cryptic tweets, weird press statements, making just enough plays so we can play at home through the playoffs. I can absolutely see it. Is this what I think is going on? Probably not. But I will say, it would be pretty funny if it was. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia, presented by our friends at Bet Parks. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the next 30 minutes. Joining me live in the Xfinity Lounge, it is the host of PHLY Phillies and my esteemed producer, Tyler Zulli. What's up, Tyler?
Yeah, I don't think that that's the case as to what you laid out, but I do think there is merit to certain pieces of the offense being, I'm not going to say intentionally withheld, but I do think that there is some semblance of conservative play calling being done right now. I think there's merit to that for sure.
You don't think it's possible that they're just messing with us?
You know,
like, you know what?
I
would
wish
be
I
funny?
could say yes.
If the most passionate, insane fans in the world just had something to be worried about, even though the team never loses. Like, I think that, like, for me and you and the sports talk industry, quite honestly, that's very thoughtful. That would be very thoughtful of them. You know, if they were just winning every game because their defense is dominant, and if the offense was just as good, they just win every game 42-0. Like, how fun would that be? What the hell would we be talking about right now? The Phillies? I don't want to do that still. Like, I'm sorry. I know you do it.
I get paid to do that, and I don't want to do that.
They're just kind of like on the back burner right now. I'll forgive them eventually. Was staring at the hat wall today, and nope, not yet. Putting on another Eagles hat, putting on another Flyers hat. Still haven't done it since they got eliminated. Maybe tomorrow's the day, but I appreciate it. If that's what the Eagles are doing, like just a long con, a hilarious joke because they're bored because they just beat out. I mean, they win every week, 47-14, and 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years. Like, I mean, that's pretty freaking good.
When you go through the years, starting with 2021, and if you do it by that 5-year sample, a 4-year of 22 on, a 3-year of 23 on, every time you go through those lists, the Eagles are top 3 in wins in the regular season. As you get closer to this year, they're top 2. As you get closer to what is the last 2 years, basically, a year and a half, they are number 1. They stand alone with their 22 regular season wins through the last 28 regular season games. Include the 4 postseason wins. They are 26-4 in their last 30 games. Yeah. I mean, this is a team that has consistent, sustainable success because they're ridiculously talented.
Yeah.
And that's where we get to this point of, are they 100%? No, they're not. They're definitely not. The offense has not been very good over the last 2 weeks, but you know what has been very good? The defense.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you don't necessarily play in tandem, you play pick me up. And that's what the defense has done, is play pick me up.
I think they know the defense is so good that they can play these games with us. That is what I am going to choose to believe until we get to the playoffs. And if things go awry from there, well, then, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. I think this is a big, elaborate game. Nick Sirianni gets so much crap. There's so much talked about Jalen Hurts, where he ranks. We do that every offseason and throughout the year. Maybe they're just like, let's continue. Let's continue this going. These people are not grateful, so we are going to mess with them. Maybe that's what it is. All right, let's hit some headlines. The Sixers beat the Clippers 110-108 last night. Paul George made his return, scored 9 points in 20 minutes. Tyrese had 39. Andre Drummond put up 14 and 18 rebounds. They were down 10 with under 9 minutes left. They come back. James Harden, 11th player to score 28,000 points. I don't know if I've ever turned on a guy. I mean, yeah, plenty. But, man, how quick it went with James Harden, where I just went from really, really loving him to him being a villain.
Well, I think when you think about that conversation, and I know that they ended up being traded for each other, but Ben Simmons is the one that comes to mind. Yes. I mean, Simmons was, to me, my defense of Simmons lasted all the way up to the Hawks series. I mean, we're not talking about a de-evolution. We're talking about a flip of the switch.
Flip of the switch, yeah.
And it was, okay, yep, that's done. I'm broken. You ruined my fandom. That's the type of flip that was. But I get your point. I mean, it does feel very, I mean, again, they're going to be intertwined forever because of the trade.
Of course.
But I get your point.
That Game 7 against the Celtics, I was on the air after that. I was driving in, listening to your station at the time. So I could do the show that was basically going to start as soon as the game ended. And I just could not believe what I was hearing. I just turned on him. That really is what ruined it for me, I think. Like that game right there. It was because we could blame Atlanta on one guy, and then the Celtics, that Game 7 was they're losers. And that's when it really ruined it for me.
Well, I think over that stretch, that 4 or 5 year stretch, they had several games, probably at least 2, but potentially a third, where there shouldn't have been Game 7s. Yeah. Game 4 against the Raptors, they should have won, and that would have ended up cultivating in them winning the series. And then Game 6 against the Celtics, where you're up 3-2, you win that game. There is no Game 7.
There's no 7. It's that easy. All right, I just read an article. Apparently, LeBron is having Steph Curry on for a multi-part podcast, and they discussed the Olympics in 2028. Neither of them are interested in playing, and no S. Sherlock. LeBron will be 43, and Steph will have just turned 40. But what it actually made me think about was, it's a big to-do this year. The NHL finally returning players to the Olympics. The Winter Olympics is going to feature NHL players, I think, for the first time since 2014. So it's been over a decade. And I just never understood why it couldn't be a summer sport. Like, the NHL has this big thing, well, we don't want to shut down our league, and what do we get out of it? And it's like, well, exposure. More people watch the Olympics than a Tuesday Winnipeg game. Like, what do you mean? What do you get out of it? People know who your players are for the first time in 4 years. But regardless, basketball is a winter sport. It happens at the same time as hockey. They basically overlap entirely. Basketball is in the Summer Olympics. Why can't hockey be in the Summer Olympics? It's not like you have to do it outside. They play indoors. Like, you don't need it to be snowing to play hockey. I understand maybe the Winter Olympics would then have no signature event, but that's not my problem. I don't care about the Olympics. Outside of that, who cares if it's, just introduce something new like skeleton or naked luge. I don't know. Why can't it just be a summer sport and then everybody wins?
I get where you're coming from on that, Mark. I will retort with, I myself probably watch more hockey in that 4-week stretch than I would in a typical 4-week stretch.
Yes,
because
certainly.
I've said this before. I watch the Flyers and whomever the Flyers are playing. I do my research to understand who's good. But unlike baseball, where I will watch a Tuesday afternoon Guardians-Royals game, I am not watching a Tuesday evening Sharks-Ducks game. It's just not my thing. So when the Olympics come about, I'm like, oh, yeah, man, I don't know, Switzerland this year. And I'm like, what the hell do I know about Switzerland hockey? Nothing. But I get invested, and I think part of that is because not a whole lot to do in the winter. So I sit in at night and I watch those games, especially during the midweek when there's no NFL, there's no college, there's no, the NHL is paused because of it. I think that it being in the winter allows somebody like me to watch more games. That's my only retort to it.
I get it's tradition and like it just makes sense. Someone brought up like, well, they already have the ice for figure skating. Like I get it. And if you're playing both hockey and basketball in like traditional arenas, that might be difficult. But I just feel like there's a way to make this work. There's just, why shut down the season? Basketball doesn't have to shut down their season. They're both played indoors. I understand the idea of an ice sport being in the summer is odd, but like you do it in the freaking Southern Hemisphere, and their seasons are backwards anyway. So like, what this? I just never understood this. Why one gets to and the other doesn't, and it's like a whole problem for hockey and basketball. Just man, we just do it in the summer, and nobody has a problem with it.
I also think too that the basketball Olympics can pretty much do what they want because for the most part it is one of the most widely viewed events because there's namesakes in it. And playing for country for a lot of guys means just as much, if not more, than playing for the NBA. I watched Nikola Jokic play for the Nuggets. He's there because he's the best player in the world.
It is unbelievable. It's straight up like that's my club team. And like, he's amazing. And it's just like, how good would you be if you cared?
But he turns on and plays for Serbia. And it looks like a guy who like, wow, okay, I'm representing my country now. So I do think that for certain players, I think especially outside of the U.S., the Olympics are a massive deal. And so for a lot of countries, the Olympics are a massive deal. So I think they can have the flexibility to play it whenever they pretty much want.
Yeah, no, I don't care about the Olympics outside of the sports I want to watch, Nunya. Like I don't care if nobody watches the freaking figure skating. I care about getting to see best international hockey. And if it shuts down the NHL and they don't want to do that, now this year they are for the first time since 2014, and that's great. I just never understood why they can't get from one to the other and then everyone's happy. You don't have to shut anything down. Basketball does it. Their sports are the exact same. Everybody wants to play in the Olympics. It's a huge deal. Canada-US is going to be an amazing game. It's confusing to me.
I do also wonder, too, about overplay. Like risk of injury. Hockey's a much more physically demanding sport than the NBA is. You can go and play another 10 games of basketball in the Olympics compared to playing 10 games of hockey is a different atmosphere. So if let's say you play for Florida or Edmonton, Connor McDavid is going to be the headline of Team Canada this year, very likely. If Edmonton goes and makes another deep cup run and then immediately has to go and play more hockey, I don't know if his body's going to be okay with that.
That is, when do the Summer Olympics happen? Because if they happened in like August, I think you could do it. But the idea of like June or July and like when you see the injury reports after each playoff series, like no, most guys wouldn't be able to go. Honestly, that's the best argument I've heard.
So 2028, they'll be July 14th through the 30th.
I might be talking about
less than a month.
Like, the season goes well into June now. So it might be cutting it a little close. That might be tight. You might not get all that many guys. All right. On the other side, we're going to talk, honestly, I might rant about music for a couple minutes because we were doing this off the air. We're going to talk about the Eagles as well. I think they're messing with us, or at least holding back, like Tyler said. First, we got to tell you about our presenting sponsor. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. You got to check out brand new games. They got Huff and More Puff, Fireblaze Sky Queen, an amazing selection of online slots, including Cash Eruption, 88 Fortune, slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, nostalgic favorites like The Goonies. And that's not all. You also get all your favorite casino classics: blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat. So many ways to win, so many ways to turn your downtime into fun time at BetParx. And now's the time to get in because new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. All you got to do is go to BetParx. BetParx.com, download the app right now, and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You get $1,000 casino bonus back, and you must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, well, whenever the Olympic sports end up happening, if you want to watch them in their best capacity, you have to do it with Xfinity because it's the ultimate sports destination. There's no lagging, no buffering, no switching between apps trying to find that sport or sports that you're interested in, or the ones maybe you don't love and you're trying to get interested in them. That's what the Olympics are about, Bill. That's what we're trying to convey here. If you're going to do it, you have to do it with Xfinity. It's the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right there in your living room. Plus, with Xfinity's best picture and sound enhanced with 4K, it's so clear it feels like you are in the arena anyway. So on top of that, you get real-time notification and live stats right there on your TV. It ends up being the best seat in the house every single time. So next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that.
All right, welcome back. So yesterday, Twitter user and PHLY chat regular Tony Escargot sends a super chat on the Flyers show to Charlie and I. And it's like something about Matvei Mishkov, people talking about trade rumors and stuff. And I just brushed that aside because I think that's an asinine thing to talk about. And it was a big joke. And he ends it with he needs Charlie to talk him off the ledge because he's 6 feet from the ledge, blah, blah, blah. The Creed song. It's the lyrics from that. Charlie did not pick up on the reference, so I had to sing it for him. And Tony then took this clip to Twitter and put the music behind it. It's awesome. I retweeted it. Go look at it on my account.
I wish we could play it on the air because it's incredible.
It's so good. I wish there wasn't, YouTube laws against it because it would be really funny. But we got into this conversation on the air, and then I did it again with Tyler earlier this morning. Creed was never cool. Creed at no point was cool. That was bad radio rock that was made only for mass audiences, and we hated on it nonstop as kids. And there is this revisionist history now where people are going back and going, you know what, Creed and Nickelback and all those bands we made fun of, they weren't bad. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. There was nothing to that music. It wasn't cool. It was just stuff that played in between commercials. That's all it was. Stuff that played on the radio in between commercials. It's basically a score for selling you stuff. I'm going to do an ad read later. I realize I'm being a hypocrite. But I'm cool, damn it. And we're the digital revolution over here at PHLY.
Hello, fellow
it's totally
students.
different.
How do you do?
It's totally different. That was never... Did people... You're a little younger than me, Tyler.
Thank you, Provolone John. Thank you.
You were a little younger than me. It was not cool to like stuff that was pre-packaged the way Creed and Nickelback.
Yeah.
That was making the band stuff.
Yeah, Creed. So Creed obviously was a little bit before my make fun of music era, but Nickelback was very much in it.
Okay.
And I think that Nickelback is a formulaic band, and they figured out what works in the structure of making money and selling records to the lowest common denominating listening group, which is who's in the car.
Yeah.
Right? And that's fine. If that's what you are, that's totally fine.
But it's not cool.
I have no problem with you making money. I don't think inherently Nickelback is cool. Now, Provolone John brings up Alter Bridge, who is
you
Creed
told me that they're Creed with a different
singer.
Guy, and they're actually kind of good.
And it's heavier. I will say it is heavier. For those that watched wrestling, I know you're a big wrestling fan. Most people found Alter Bridge via Edge's theme song.
Absolutely.
But it's Mark Tremonti is an unbelievable guitarist. I mean, they legitimately won Solo of the Decade in the 2000s for the song Blackbird. I mean, I love the band. I have lyrics tattooed on my chest. That's how much I love that band.
All right.
Anyway, it's a different feel and it's a different vibe, but I get your thought on Creed of formulaic radio rock not appealing to the edgy, cool, hip teenage you. Right? I totally understand that.
It was just that's what we did, man. We went, my friends and I, we're either in bands. I wasn't in it. I'm musically untalented. But either in bands or went to see bands at the Grange or the American Legion or VFW. That's how I spent half my weekends in high school.
Listen, man.
And that stuff wasn't cool.
First Unitarian Church was a fire hazard. I mean,
First Unitarian
but
is
it was one of the greatest venues of all time. And so, right, you're 100% right. And Broad Street Bullies brings up a band now that's doing it. It's a band called Sleep Token. They're an industry plant. I firmly believe it. They're not good. They have all this ridiculous blow up. They're not. They're an industry plant. But I think with Creed, what is happening now is people they're growing up and they're doing the I don't care what people think about what I think about anymore in terms of like when you're a kid, right? The nerdy stuff, for example. You go, that's nerdy. I don't want to do that. And then you get older and you're like, wait a minute.
I didn't watch Star Wars till
Lord
I was
of the Rings
26.
is cool. Star Wars is cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what other people think about me anymore. And I think Creed is going down that same trajectory of like, maybe they weren't as bad as we thought.
I think the world has gotten softer and everyone feels bad for making fun of stuff. And it's like, they made plenty of money. They're fine. We don't need to feel bad about making fun of them. They'll be okay. All right. I think we're at 50. Yeah. So on the other side, we're going to talk some Eagles, maybe do some other fun stuff. Today's show got away from me. But quite honestly, I think this is more fun than like any other Eagles topic I would have done. All right, it is time for me to tell you about one of my favorite sponsors here. It's Elkin Chevrolet and that honkin' good service. Because sports fans, you know who's dishing those championship-level Black Friday deals every single day, and it is Elkin Chevrolet. They're right off of Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey, and they're run by a three-man team, Jason, Adam, and Josh. Three brothers who are in the store calling plays and delivering wins for their customers every single day. There's no fumbles, there's no missed shots, just a hometown squad with a deep bench of Chevys and Black Friday deals that'll make you cheer. They call it honking good service, and trust me, it's a slam dunk. So if you're scouting for a new Chevy or a pre-owned MVP, make your next move to Elkin Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honkin' good service. Shop now at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
All right, listen, if you are a fan of the teas, right, and you're thinking about what's the right one for me, well, if you turn the can around and you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what you're reading because it's ridiculous scientific words, or even worse, they're hiding the ingredients from you. Put that can back, reach for a Crooked Tea, because with Crooked Tea, it's real USDA tea, real ingredients, no filler, no fluff, no stuff. It's just the tea that you love with zero added sugar. There's no fake junk hiding behind the label. So next time you're at the store, again, look at that can, and if you don't like what you see, put it back. Grab a Crooked Tea with zero sugar, real tea, and full transparency. And listen, in Philly, we recognize real. So why drink fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing that is better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Head on over to crookedtea.com to find the store near you.
All right, let's talk a little Eagles. The idea that they're messing with us is funny to me, and honestly, I'm going to choose to believe it because it makes me feel good that it's fine. They're just joking. But there is, as Tyler said, maybe there's an overall conservatism to the way they're running their offense that is purposeful, is just trying to get in and out of games, because what matters is not now. It's the end of the year. It's January. It's February. I can maybe see that actually being the case, Tyler. And I think it shows up in one thing in particular, and it's Jalen Hurts running the ball. 2021 through last season, he averaged 9.9 rush attempts a game. Let's call that 10. This year, it's 7.3. So basically 3 fewer rushing attempts, which doesn't feel like a ton. But for a quarterback who's not going to have more than 10, like that's a pretty big, that's like a 30% drop. And I feel as if more than ever, there's a high percentage of just tush pushes in there. Like, we're all but one of his rush attempts on Sunday night tush pushes. Like, I feel like
there was one design quarterback draw that went for, 11 or 12 yards. I think he scrambled once.
It was almost the exact same play as the one he fumbled on in Green Bay, but to the other side.
So here's the thing. I've always talked about this. I don't particularly love empty set because I think it invites blitz and I think it invites no pickup for your quarterback. But when you have a quarterback who has the ability to get up the middle on that draw play, it neutralizes the blitz around the edge. Jalen Hurts is incredibly successful on that quarterback draw, even when we look at it from 20,000-foot view and go, quarterback draw is coming.
When they're going empty on third down, I just go QB draw.
But it works because he's good at it.
Yeah, it works.
So I do think that there is a purposeful limitation of his runs. A, because it's taxing on the body. B, because it invites hits. It invites stuff towards the sideline that flirts on the line of like Is it a penalty? Is it not?
And he never gets those flags. It's legal to hit him.
And I'm not saying intentional. I just mean you take the risk, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen quarterbacks this year so far who have gotten injured in the run game. Jackson Dart with the concussion.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels with the multiple injuries this season so far. And I think the Eagles, and as much as we give Kevin Patullo, crap for being conservative and not having a particularly strong route tree, which is true, I do think the one thing that they are doing is protecting Jalen Hurts in the run game. I think that there is a real chance that over the last few weeks of the season and into the postseason, you may see that number ramp up a little bit.
There's no way to know this for sure. And maybe they prove it, or in the playoffs, it's the exact same offense. And we're just like, oh, so this is just kind of a offense. And hopefully the defense continues to dominate as they have, the last few weeks, but really going back to the Super Bowl and NFC Championship, maybe there is more to this thing. You just look at he's at 26.5 yards rushing a game. He's been near 45 the previous 4 years. It just feels like they know there's another level here, and they're good enough not to get to it yet. Now, the complaints and stuff maybe coming out of the receivers room, that's another thing entirely. That is where I'm trying to lean towards. Maybe they're just messing with us, give us something to talk about. But it's the route trees, all of that, whether it's Hurts decision-making or it's the play calling and design, I don't know, but it just feels like there's other stuff in the bag of tricks that they're not going to, because we've seen it all work before.
Well, and I will say this, the route concepts are bad. There's no question about it. The route concepts are bad. I think that some of your biggest assets of this receiving core, other than the sheer talent of the players, is having a big body receiver in A.J. Brown, whose skill set is get to the middle of the field, turn upfield. And you saw the StatCast route tree that he ran. It was all outside stuff. He was heading towards the outside routinely. So I'm not taking that for granted. I do think in this particular conversation, I do believe that they are shrouding him from the run game a little bit intentionally.
Yeah, I think they're the two things aren't connected necessarily. Protecting him in the run game, if he were to run more, it would just open up more stuff either for Saquon or in the passing game. That's something they're choosing not to do, or Hurts is choosing not to do. But the route concepts and stuff, I don't know, man. He's not the fastest receiver. It's not like he lives off of separation. Maybe just get him in position where he can win with his body, and not just, oh yeah, the guy's draped on him, and yeah, maybe he gets a hand in there. That's basically, you're just asking him to win that rather than use his skill set in the open field. It blows my mind, but I am just hoping this is all a building process towards, in the playoffs, it will be fine. They beat the Bears. They're basically the number one seed. What's that, 2 weeks from now? They have head-to-head over every NFC division leader. They're the number one seed if they win that game, unless all things fall apart like they did in 2023. But there just feels like there's more there. It would be one thing if it was, they're just not that good. I refuse to believe that. Put on some Shane Steichen film and do that. I realize defenses have adjusted. We're seeing so much more zone. We're seeing the safeties high, so we can't get all the deep balls that we used to get. But that has to mean there's something else. There's something else available. Find it.
Yeah, and I think when you come into the conversation about the lack of productivity from the offense, it's not just one piece, right? It's easy to say either the offensive coordinator schemes don't work, or the quarterback is holding onto the ball too long, or this or that or whatever. I think there is a multitude of different things that are playing a factor into this offensive struggles. I think the offensive line as a whole not only has been banged up, hasn't been particularly good this year, especially compared to years past, has not been the shining star that we have seen. I think that, there have been times throughout games where Jalen Hurts has held onto the ball too long, which is a combination of him being risk-averse, which I love, versus him holding onto the ball too long, which I think we all would love to see a little bit of a quicker release. But I was sitting at the game on Sunday, and the guy behind me, you got to get rid of the ball. And I turned around to him, and I'm like, to who? Who do you want him to throw the ball to?
I always am I refuse to believe that this awesome group of playmakers, nobody's opened, and then they show the wide shot, and you go, yeah.
So
No, just this. And like the concepts are also like rigid where it's not like he can even work to get open because you have him along the sideline and there's the defender's here, he's on the sideline, where's he supposed to go? Backwards? Like that doesn't help anyone either. So the whole thing is very frustrating. I am hoping that it is a building process and we're not just going to be stuck with this, although it will be funny if they win a Super Bowl with an offense that scores like 10 points. Well, that will be very funny to just be those villains.
That's the beauty of this right now. Maybe not the beauty, but the thing that's keeping everybody level-headed is how well the defense has played over the last couple of weeks has allowed you to work through these grinds of the offensive lack of productivity. Because the defense has been – I'm not asking the defense to go sub 10 points ever. Like, I'm not asking them to be
probably a little much.
They're not the 85 Bears. They're really, really good. They're not the 85 Bears. I'm not asking them to do that. But it is nice in this span until you get things moving or as a fallback in break glass in case of emergency type of thing. It's like, all right, well, listen, defense, we need you to shoulder the brunt of the load here today because the offense isn't performing. That's a luxury to have.
I will say, and then we got to wrap. We're going to get to this Jack Hughes thing because I want to talk about the funniest injuries, people, or weirdest injuries. I just want to say I called them the 2000 Ravens on the Flyers show the other day, Tyler, and then I realized what I said, and I was like, and that is not a comment about the quarterback. I'm talking about the defense specifically. All right, that is all the time we have for you on Philadelphia today. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here on the YouTube channel. We'll be live tomorrow at 1:30. Tune into the Eagles show right now. They are live, so make sure you head over there. Follow me on Twitter at Philadelphia PHLY and follow the podcast. Just search Philadelphia. I am Bill Matz. Thank you to Tyler Zulli. Till tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.